G'day all, I'm Paddy the Platypus, and welcome back to my first deep dive into a series, Bird and Arm. If by chance you haven't already seen part 1, go and do that. Please. Thanks. I appreciate you for doing that. I do. Really means a lot. Let's get into it then. We start with John Walker in a locker room at his old high school. He closes his eyes and smiles as he sees his initials on his old locker. And Olivia, his wife, comes in to check up on him. They joke about him being nervous, and he says,
I've been a captain before, obviously, but this is different. Everybody in the world expects me to be something, and I don't want to fail them.
These lines, straight away giving us an insight into how he's feeling, the pressure he'll face. They're doing a good job at characterising him and getting the audience on his side.
They're gonna love you.
And Olivia leaves as Lamar Hoskins, his best friend and sidekick, enters.
Copy that.
Walker's there, practicing his greeting. Another great moment, giving us a look into his character and what this moment means for him, and how much responsibility he knows comes with the role. Lamar interrupts him, and they talk about how crazy this moment is. Only 2 weeks earlier were they prepping their team for a special ops mission, and now this.
It's been great, but it's been a lot of handshakes, a lot of suits, a lot of speeches and senator meetings. I just want to do the job.
Great stuff. He doesn't care about the fame and all the stuff that comes with the title. He's there to help people, to be that hopeful Captain America.
This suit, it comes with expectations, bro. Time to go to work.
Time to go to work.
And as we get the Marvel Studios logo, I'll stop it there. We already get some great insight into Chad America. He's nervous. He wants to do the job well. He doesn't want to let people down. And he has 2 great relationships in his life, with his best mate and sidekick Lamar, and his wife, Olivia. In this introduction, they've set up a great new, relatable hero, whether that was their intention or not. We then get Cap signing autographs, and then he runs onto the field. Oh yeah, I'll be calling him Cap because that's what he is, Captain America. I know some people won't like that, because Cap to them is Steve, but Steve's no longer Cap as he gave up the mantle. I'll be calling him Cap or Chad, until he's no longer Captain America. Then whoever happens to become Captain America later will gain the Cap title. Cool? Cool. Now on to his Good Morning America interview.
Good morning, America!
What is it like being Captain America?
It's the greatest honor of my life, but I'm just a little shocked, I think. How did a guy like me...
Adding to how he feels the pressure and hoping he'll do a good job. He then gets interrupted by the interviewer, telling him he's being too humble. And she says,
For those of you who aren't familiar with John's resume, John Walker, first person in American history to receive 3 Medals of Honor, ran RS-1 missions in counterterrorism and hostage rescue, the government did a study of your body at MIT, and you tested off the charts in every measurable category: speed, endurance, intelligence.
Seems pretty impressive. But then he interrupts with,
Look, here's the thing. I'm not Tony Stark, I'm not Dr. Banner. I don't have the flashiest gadgets, I don't have super strength. But what I do have is guts. Something Captain America always had, always needs to have, and I'm gonna need every ounce of it, because I got big shoes to fill.
what a man. This solidifies what he believes in and how he feels about the situation. They then cut to Bucky, watching, which I guess it's a minor convenience, but I'm okay with it. He'd find out some way or another, so showing his reaction to it is fine. But his reaction, on the other hand, is not fine. He's asked if he knew Steve, and he says that he followed his life very closely as an Avenger and likes to think he modelled his work after him. Perfect answer. Steve is an amazing guy to have as your role model.
So you've always wanted to be a hero.
And Chad America replies with,
I liked that what I was doing would make people feel safe. Steve Rogers was the kind of guy who could do that.
what a hero. We then see Bucky getting annoyed while watching. Why? Why are you annoyed with the title being passed on? Walker isn't going around saying he's the new Steve Rogers. He's saying he wants to try and be the best Captain America he can be. To be that sense of protection that Steve gave so many people. Bucky, you weren't friends with Steve because he had the title. It was because Steve was a good guy and tried his best at everything he did. So now why are you so annoyed that there's another guy who's trying to do the same? Now I understand the argument that he associates the title of Captain America with Steve. However, this does not warrant him to become angry with Chad. He should maybe try to understand why he was given the title. And he did just hear a couple of his achievements read out on live television. Surely Bucky would think, who's this guy? I can't believe they just gave this guy the... 3 Medals of Honor. Whoa, off the charts in speed, endurance, and intelligence. He sounds okay. And sure, if you still wanted him to be annoyed with it, you could have a scene where he confronts Walker to figure out what sort of a man he is, then make a personal judgment if his list of achievements wasn't enough.
Even though I never met him, feels like a brother.
The only reason they're throwing this line in is to make it hit hard with Bucky, the closest thing to a brother Steve had. So, with this groundwork, they've made Bucky naive, jealous, and judgmental. Although it feels extremely cheap and not overly like the Bucky we know from Infinity War and Endgame, it could work. Let's hope they explore this further. Then to Sam, and he sees a poster. Cap is back. And in walks Torres. Torres' line,
Seems like a good guy.
works so well, because why would anyone think otherwise? They haven't met him, so why are they so butthurt? Anyway, they're getting ready to leave to Munich, and we see Bucky.
Shouldn't have given up the shield. You didn't know that was gonna happen?
No, of course I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Okay, so I guess I'll just count that one as Sam being naive, because it makes complete sense that the government would want to replace Cap. Just look at what Disney's doing. Iron Man, Riri Williams' new Iron Man. Hulk to She-Hulk. Hawkeye to Kate Bishop Hawkeye. Thor to Jane Foster Thor. Captain America.
This isn't what Steve wanted.
Well, no, not exactly, but he gave the shield to Sam because he thought Sam could be the new symbol of Captain America. Because that he thought he was worthy and had the ideals that Captain America should have. Not because he's friends with him or anything. Who's to say old man Steve wasn't watching the news and agreeing that this guy is impressive and that he will represent the ideals of Captain America?
You had no right to give up the shield, Sam.
You're not gonna come here in your overextended life and tell me about my rights.
Just a nod to one of the themes of the show.
I have bigger things to deal with now.
What could be bigger than this?
Wow, Bucky, aren't you a narrow-minded fuck? How superficial are you that someone's title is the biggest thing that could be going on right now? Sam then gives Bucky a quick recap of the Flag Smashers.
Now, Red Wing traced them to a building somewhere outside of Munich.
Holy shit. How? Nope, just moving on. We need the story to happen, so Red Wing just did that.
Well, I don't trust Red Wing.
So I have a feeling they might be a part of the big three. Androids, aliens, and wizards.
Okay, I understand that this is a joke and all, but no. Let's take a quick tangent and look back on the MCU and categorize our villains, shall we? And I'll be categorizing aliens as foreigner from another world. And to be generous to the big three categorization, it's coming from Sam. So anything that isn't from Earth we'll categorize as alien, although it should be in relation to where each story is set. But let's just do it anyway. So, in release order, let's start. We had Obadiah Stane, not one of the big three. Abomination, not big three. Whiplash. Nope, the King of the Frost Giants as well as Loki. So, because it's not from Earth, sure, there's one for aliens. Red Skull, he was a human, so another one that doesn't work. Loki again, even though he's a god, he's not from Earth, so another one for aliens. Fake Mandarin and Aldrich Killian, both humans. Malekith, sure, another one for aliens. Bucky is a super soldier, so not one of the big three. Ronan's an alien. Hey, Ultron, our first one for androids. Yellow Jacket is a human in a suit. Zemo, be a clever little human boy. Caecilius is a wizard, so we have our first wizard. Ego being a planet would have to count as an alien in our broad categorization. Vulture's just a guy. Hela's a goddess, so sure, alien. Just a couple of blokes. Thanos is an alien. Ghost is just a girl who got too close to a explosion. Aliens galore. Aliens. And Far From Home. Although Mysterio is just a guy, guess the general public don't know, so I guess a wizard? Or an alien? Let's go half a point each. Oh, but Far From Home hasn't taken place yet in the MCU timeline, so that solves this little dilemma. So, let's quickly take a look at our findings. Aliens, we have 9. Androids, we have 1. And wizards, we have 1. Oh, and none of the big 3. There's 11. That's half of our villains that don't fit in the big 3. Don't seem so big when you think about it now, hey? I know this is a joke, however, what they keep doing is adding jokes into the show when it wouldn't make sense. They're trying to live up to their Marvel reputation with their little funny moments, but what makes the jokes in other movies better is that it doesn't ruin the story. It worked into the narrative or into the character in a smart way.
Every time we fight one of the 3.
Sam, you didn't fight or know about a lot of these villains. Like, how would you even know about Caecilius, Ronan, Hela, Ego, or any others that you weren't around for? Did you watch the MCU like Loki did? Or did everyone just update you on their antics in those films? Anyway, thanks for letting me rant there. Now you should understand that I hate when jokes are added in there to provide nothing more than a potential quick laugh.
So who are you fighting now, Gandalf?
How do you know about Gandalf?
I read The Hobbit in 1937 when it first came out.
I know this has been pointed out by many people, but I'll touch on it super quickly anyway. In September 1937, only 1,500 copies of The Hobbit were released. So Bucky must have been a die-hard Tolkien fan to get his hands on one so quickly, but sure, just a nitpick.
There are no wizards.
Doctor Strange
Is a sorcerer.
A sorcerer is a wizard without a hat.
Now I'm not going to argue the difference between the two for 10 minutes, because honestly, I'd categorize all magic users together.
These guys aren't magical, all right? They use brute force, just like you.
Okay, so you've ruled one of the big 3 out. You think they're androids or aliens? Are you going to touch on this later? Or was this just a joke with no substance?
I'm coming with you.
What? Why? Why are you going? You're telling me that Bucky's now involved in the plot because he was in the right place at the right time. That's really fucking convenient that you came to get angry with Sam moments before he left. Let's say, before you went up to see Sam, you grabbed breakfast with Yori. Even just a cup of tea. Or you woke up 2 minutes earlier than you did. Sam would have left and Bucky wouldn't have been a part of the story. Now this is not a nitpick. This is a major contrivance that influences the story. We see the plane fly into Munich and we get a stare off between the two because funny.
What's our plan? Great. So no plan.
Sam calls Bucky Buck and he says that he can't call him that. I like it that he relates the nickname to Steve, only a little detail, but still cute.
I have a plan.
Really? What is it?
Falcon just doing a holdo from The Last Jedi.
Tell us that we have a plan.
So, just an idea. You're doing something with at least one other person. Literally fucking anything. Would it not only be beneficial to your companion, but also to yourself, to let them in on what's going on? Maybe they could help out, so it's not just you doing everything. But no, I guess not.
Where's the chute? We're 200 feet. It's too low for a chute.
So you've let Bucky know it's too late to jump out. What is this circus that you guys are running? So an idea, if I was jumping out of a plane and I had to do it now, I know if I took a parachute, it would be better than not. Even if it were.
Too low for a chute.
It would be better than fucking nothing. Also maybe fly up a little bit then. That way it won't be.
Too low for a chute. I don't need it anyway.
Sure. Now I didn't know Bucky was... Torres is the audience again.
Sure about that?
Yeah.
Bucky jumps and uses his fucking arm to deflect branches, then lands flat on his back, breaking it and becoming a quadriplegic for the rest of the show. Oh no, wait, that scene was a joke, so Falcon can say,
I have all of that on camera, you know that, right?
okay, so let me understand something. Sam didn't tell Bucky the plan, hoping he would jump out without a parachute, and not only that, also knowing that he wouldn't die in the process, just so he has a video of it. Now, I don't care that Bucky's a fucking super soldier. This does not mean he can't die, or even injure himself badly. Another instance of where Marvel wanted a joke, so sacrificed a bit of fucking logic to achieve it.
Get out of my face, Sam, or I'll break it.
Okay, head north, come on.
Come on, how do you know he didn't break his back? Anyway, plot needs to happen, I guess. They find their way to an abandoned shed or warehouse or whatever.
Oh, don't hurt him.
Sam makes a joke about Bucky staring, because apparently that's all Bucky's character is now, according to the show. Sam finds where they are using Red Wing, and they believe they're smuggling weapons.
I see a clear path. I say we take it. I'll see you inside. Or not.
Look at you, all stealthy. Little time in Wakanda and you come out White Panther.
It's actually White Wolf.
Ooh, first White Wolf reference. Hopefully they'll expand on this.
All right, I'm inside, therefore way ahead of you. It's not great, but very doable. Hello, how are you?
Good, what did I miss? Nothing.
All right, let's go.
No, wait.
I got a vibranium arm. I can take them.
What is this, Bucky? Sure, Bucky would want to run in and take them out, but why announce that you have this metal arm, mate? The way that you were talking, you're acting very extra.
And I can fly, who gives a shit?
What is this dialogue? It's so unnatural. But anyway, Falcon wants to follow, Bucky wants to take him out. Sure, Bucky points out that there are only two people, so Sam, being arrogant, goes,
Let me see what Red Wing sees. Oh, look at that. How many people you see now? 5.
Fine.
Yeah.
So they're strong, whatever.
what the... Bucky, look. Their strength and number of them have no correlation. You saw that they were lifting it when it was just the two people in your field of view. Now you know there's 5, you admit they're strong? I don't fucking understand. They make a noise and the crew starts to leave. Falcon scans the truck and sees someone crouched in the back.
There's an 8th person. I think they have a hostage.
There's 8 now. How did you miss the other 3 a second ago? Anyway, now, Bucky, with barely any hesitation, sprints out of the warehouse. Now I like this because it helps with the idea of him trying to do better in his life. Moving on from being the Winter Soldier, he hears there's a hostage and wants to do the right thing. And superficial, but it's a pretty cool shot of them leaving. Now Bucky jumps on the back of the truck in front. How on earth does he do this easily? The driver behind just needs to radio in or call the other truck. And let's say that he won't do that because he wants to be a responsible driver and wouldn't pick up the phone while driving to keep 2 hands on the wheel. Bucky rips that back door open. The driver would have seen that in his side view mirror. You can see the other truck 20 bloody meters behind them.
They're stealing medicine, vaccines.
Bucky, talk to me. What's going on?
Found the hostage.
And with that, we get our introduction to Carly, who smiles and proceeds to try fucking kill Bucky. She does not know him, unaware of his super soldier abilities. For all she knows, kicking him out the back of a fucking truck into another truck will kill him. Just remember this. She proceeds to put on her mask, for some reason. You know we saw your face. There's no point in now covering it up, but whatever. Cool bad guy mask. There are 2 guys on top of the truck. What? Have you been waiting up there the whole time? Anyway, at least these 2 guys have the right idea and they're already wearing masks. Carly does a super jump with a superhero landing, and Bucky is being held down and beaten. Then in comes Red Wing, Carly grabs it and destroys it. Then little Bucky says,
I always wanted to do that.
Hey mate, you were just kicked out of a fucking truck, punched in the face, and are being held down by 2 pretty bloody strong guys, and you're making a joke. Okay, bud. Oh, and also they can do setup when it sets up a joke.
Well, I don't trust Red Wing.
Get out of my
face, Sam, or I'll break it.
Oh, don't hurt him. I always wanted to do that.
Fuck's sake. Then in swoops Bird.
Good of you to join the fight, Sam!
Yeah, Sam, where were you? You both left the warehouse together, then you just held back? Why? This is the show realizing it's a flaw, so lampshading it. This definition of lampshading from tvtropes.org is great. Lampshade hanging, or lampshading, is the writer's trick of dealing with any element of the story that threatens the audience's willing suspension of disbelief, whether a very implausible plot development or a particularly blatant use of a trope by calling attention to it and simply moving on. This assures the audience that the author is aware of the implausible plot development that just happened, and that they aren't trying to just slip something past the audience. Questioning where Sam was, in universe, is the writers saying they're aware it's a flaw, but just move on. So in summary, lampshading, for the most part, is bad, unless you're making like a parody movie, for example. Sam gets thrown to the other truck, and he's about to be punched, and then we see a symbol of hope. Chad America has come to the rescue. He jumps down and knocks Carly on her back. Lamar then swings in to assist. Chad proceeds to help Bird and Arm. Then Lamar and Chad introduce themselves to Sam.
John Walker, Captain America! Lamar Hoskins! Looks like you guys could use some help!
Yes, absolutely, Chad. If not for you and Lamar, Bird and Arm could have died. Or if not, then seriously injured. Bucky and a Smasher are then thrown onto the side of a truck at the same time. Bucky starts climbing under the truck and Falcon flies up. He sees a guy smash through a road sign and realizes the strength that they're up against, even though he already knew that thanks to Torres' video. He gets thrown off the truck and recovers and flies back. Bird flies in to assist Arm, but then the driver sees him and swerves in. Hey, he used his side mirror now. Good job, mate. Didn't think to look at it earlier, but...
Hello, girl, kick your ass!
Sam, what the fuck are you doing? Bucky is holding on for dear life. You've both copped a beating, and now you come up to say this to Bucky.
Hello, girl, kick your ass!
Haha, funny, Sam. Bucky is angry now. As Lamar is getting choked, and Chad comes in to save him, working as a great companion, saving lives and helping when needed. Hey, this new Captain America is kinda pretty good. Chad then gets thrown to the back of the truck. Sam flies under the trucks and grabs Bucky. Now we have a cutesy rolling in the flowers scene.
Could've used that shield.
Hey buddy, just an idea. Maybe work together with these actually pretty decent guys. That way, you not only have this idealistic Chad on your team, but he'll also be there with this shield that you just mentioned that you could have used. Anyway, they have a lie down because fuck going to look for the two blokes who saved your fucking lives.
You're welcome, by the way.
Holy shit, you asshole. You're there being petty that Bucky didn't thank you for saving him when you won't go back and thank Cap and Lamar. They're still being beaten up. Anyway, back to the boys. Lamar's somehow being choked again, and he then gets thrown off the truck. And without hesitation, Chad throws his shield to save Lamar, sacrificing his main weapon and protection to save his friend. And the smiles they give to each other is so wholesome, really adds to their characters by showing their appreciation towards each other. Chad gets up.
That was a bad idea.
And wants to get back at Carly for nearly killing Lamar. However, his punch is caught and is also thrown off the truck. But instead of injuring himself on the road, he lands on a car. A car! Driving so close to these trucks. Why was this car tailgating this truck that was swerving all over the road and had people fighting on top? Maybe they wanted a closer look at the new Captain America in action? I have no clue. Anyway, Chad comes out without a scratch, cause cars are like mattresses, didn't you know? Don't worry, I've seen the Fast and Furious movies. Cars are really soft.
Sorry about Red Wing.
No, you're not. What's going on in that big cyborg brain of yours?
It's computing.
I can actually see it. I can see the gears turning. Oh, they're malfunctioning, shutting down. Yep, they're on fire.
More incredibly hilarious lines. As they're walking, they say they need to find where this super soldier serum has come from. And as they're talking, Chad and Lamar roll up and open the door for them. But they ignore them and keep walking. Now, another hypothetical. If I was getting beaten up and potentially on the verge of being killed, and a bloke rocked up and saved me, I'd love to thank him and have a chat. Now, if it was someone I hated for no particular reason, I would still happily thank him, because hey, if not for them showing up, I'd be dead. Now, Sam and Bucky hate Chad for no other reason than you took our friend's job, which he chose to retire from, so I'm no genius. But I think what Chad did for them warrants at least a thank you. But hey, what the fuck would I know? As the vehicle rolls alongside Bird and Arm, Chad, trying to start conversation, says,
Look, at least we know what we're up against now, huh?
clearly showing Cap wants to work with them because he knows they have a much greater chance when working together. But Sam and Bucky are so fucking petty that they just ignore him.
And we're pretty sure it's one of the big three.
No, Chad, not you too. How are you sure it's one of the big three? Why?
There's no such thing as wizards.
Alright, then it's aliens or androids.
And the show now shows us the big three is stupid. All Bucky needed to say was wizards don't exist, and now Chad is happy to narrow it down to either being aliens or androids. The big two?
Or super soldiers.
So we're just adding to our the big
insert number here
list? So now is it back to the big three? Or is it the big four now, and wizards can stay? Or maybe we can say sorcerers instead of wizards? Then it would be still the big four. And if Bucky thinks that they're different, would it then be big five? And then if we're just adding to the list, why not add other categories like geniuses, super soldiers? That could include. When Lamar and Chad hear super soldiers, their initial reaction.
Shit, super soldiers for real?
Yeah.
Wow. Alright, well then we gotta work together.
This is smart because super soldiers are strong and working together will have a better chance of victory. But Bucky, being the petty idiot that he is, doesn't like the sound of that.
I think we stand a much better chance if we all just...
Just because you carry that shield, it doesn't mean you're Captain America.
That's true, Bucky. Technically speaking, what makes you Captain America is being given the rank by the Department of Defense. This is not given out to anyone, as you're aware of, because you were watching the TV when it was being talked about. The shield comes with the label. Bucky then wants to dig his hole a little deeper and ask,
You ever jump on top of a grenade?
Yeah, actually I have 4 times.
wow, this man still has ways to prove he's a great man, willing to throw his life on the line. Yeah, sure, it's a reinforced helmet, but even still, I think most people wouldn't jump on a grenade with the helmet, just in case it doesn't work the way it should. Chad finally gets them to agree to come in, and they talk details. Sam says,
They say their mission is to get things back to the way it was during the blip.
now that idea is extremely stupid, but I'll get to that later. Cap highlights the serum doesn't have a great track record, and Sam says they need to track them down, so asks how these two were able to track them.
No, we didn't track them, we tracked you through Red Wing.
You hacked my tech?
Sorry, it's not exactly hacking. It's government property.
Yes, Sam, although you like to think you are a free agent in this show, the Sokovia Accords are a thing. So, either you're controlled by the government, therefore you can be monitored and they'll keep track of you and keep you in check, or you don't sign. You have to give your suit in, and it will then be illegal for you to be doing stuff like this. And apparently, post-Endgame, you've signed. Therefore, you're wearing government property and are then controlled by the government. I was going to say, it's best to read the fine print before signing documents, but that wasn't the fine print, that was the fucking point of the Sokovia Accords. When signing, you knew this was the case. The Falcon is owned by the government. Also, back to tracking them down, if only you had a friend who has tracked them down in the past.
Does you always just stare like that?
You get used to it.
Because that's Bucky's character, remember? He stares. We get a quick GRC dump to give an idea as to what it is, but I'll talk more about that with the next episode.
Violent revolutionaries aren't usually good for anyone's cause.
Usually save other people with the resources.
Sam, unless you know fully what's going on, maybe no little fucking comments like that, please. Thanks.
If you joined up with us, I mean, we could...
Why?
Man, I got mad respect for both of y'all, but you're kind of getting your asses kicked until we showed up.
Yeah, they kind of saved your lives. And he introduces himself as Lamar Hoskins.
I see a guy hanging out of a helicopter in tactical gear. I need a lot more than Lamar Hoskins.
Fair enough, Sam.
I'm Battlestar, John's partner.
Aw, the MCU's first gay couple. How very progressive.
Battlestar? Stop the car!
Wow, Bucky. Pretty homophobic of you that as soon as you find out that they were partners, you can't be in the same vehicle as them. Wow. No, but on a serious note, why does that trigger Bucky? Is it because he's Cap's partner? I don't get that. Can't he have a partner like you and Sam were Cap's partners in the past?
I get it, okay? I get the attitude, I do.
Well, I'm glad someone does.
You didn't think that the shield was gonna end up here. I get it, Bucky. I'm not trying to be Steve. I'm not trying to replace Steve. I'm just trying to be the best Captain America I can be. That's it.
Brilliantly said, mate.
It'd be a whole lot easier if I had Cap's wingman on my side.
Completely agree. You would actually work really well together.
It's always that last line.
What? I don't see what's wrong with that last line. If anything, it's highlighting that he believes he could be the best version of Captain America when working alongside you. I don't understand what your problem is. Is it because he said wingman? And you are literally a wingman and was Cap's wingman? Why are you so petty? Anyway, Carly is back and does the cool secret whistle, and she and her friends are allowed into this basement. She gets compared to Robin Hood, and that she will have somewhere to stay wherever she goes, and she's awesome, and everyone loves her. Then she gets a text from an unknown number saying, "Ooh, mysterious."
Shit, they're already looking for us.
Yeah, no shit. That's what happens when you do something illegal.
You're stealing medicine.
I'm wiping our aliases off any public traffic sites now.
Oh, you can do that. That's convenient.
We're not playing no more. We can't let the same arseholes who were put back in power after the blip win. The GRC care more about the people who came back than the ones who never left. We got a glimpse of how things could be. I need to know that you're all committed, because after tomorrow there's no going back.
One world.
One people.
Okay guys, quick question. How the fuck would the whole world live as equals? There are no two countries that are the same. So, shit will hit the fan pretty fucking quickly. Surely you will then figure out what areas are working and what areas aren't working. And based on what is working, you would then enforce laws to try and make this coexisting work. And now, due to having these laws, everyone is no longer one people. And let's just simplify what your idea is. Everyone will be equal. No borders, no poverty. One world, one people. And I will lead you all and decide who gets the resources. Now I hope you see the fucking problem there. I have a pretty basic understanding of politics and the liking, but this would not fucking work, at least not for long. Back to Bucky and Sam sitting in a plane.
You alright? Let's take the shield, Sam. Let's take the shield and do this ourselves.
No.
We can't just run up on a man, beat him up, and take it.
Correct. Well done, Sam.
Do you remember what happened the last time we stole it?
Maybe.
Basically saying, hey, do you remember that movie, Captain America Civil War? Because it'll be important for their series, so we'll assume you're stupid and give you all the context you'll need going forward in some unnatural dialogue. He spews out context that Sharon was branded enemy of the state, and Stephen himself were on the run for 2 years.
We just got our ass handed to us by super soldiers, and we got nothing.
Oh, poor Sam. Because we all know that old saying, if at first you don't succeed, just fucking give up. Have you had so little failures? Because you didn't get anything that time, you want to go have a cry? Just be lucky that you're still alive after that incident.
There is someone that you should meet.
Now we're in Baltimore. Why? Black Panther isn't called Black Panther because T'Challa is black. It's because it's based on the animal called a Black Panther.
Just Falcon, kid. Is it because I'm black and I'm the Falcon?
Technically, I mean, yes.
So are you, like, black kid?
I like the idea behind this interaction, sort of making fun of people who highlight what race another person is, when, in reality, it doesn't affect anything. I hope we see more of this, showing it's not about race, but the character. They knock on Isaiah Bradley's door, and his grandson pretends he doesn't live here. But Bucky says to tell him the guy from the bar in Goyang is here.
We had a skirmish during the Korean War.
They're led into the house because...
He said he wants to see for himself.
Now, if I was pretending I didn't exist, I wouldn't risk seeing for myself. What if someone else knew about the incident at the bar at Goyang? Stories spread. Let's say you thought there were still people who wanted you dead. You'd be taking as much precaution as possible when meeting with people.
Sam, this is Isaiah. He was a hero, one of the ones that Hydra feared the most, like Steve. We met at 51.
Isaiah talks about how he was the only one who could take him down back in Goyang and was asking why he was here, if it was to kill him, and Bucky lets him know that he's not a killer anymore. A bit of context and setting up for a payoff. I don't mind this scene. Could have been cool to maybe show it as a flashback, but I'm fine with what we got in theory.
You think you can wake up one day and decide who you want to be? It doesn't work like that.
A great line to go along with Bucky from the last episode, waking up and trying to get back to some sort of normality.
Isaiah, the reason we're here is because there's more of you and me out there.
I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
He throws a metal box into a wall, I guess to show he's still got it. Then he proceeds to talk about it more.
You know what they did to me for being a hero? They put my ass in jail for 30 years. People running tests, taking my blood, coming into my cell.
For 30 years, how much did they get? They must have tanks full of blood. He then yells at them to get out and they leave.
Why didn't you tell me about Isaiah? How could nobody bring him up?
What do you mean, mate? Why is it so important? It wasn't just him. We see multiple super soldiers like Bucky in those flashbacks in Civil War who were tested on and sent out to do missions. Are you keeping a list of them all? Why is knowing about another one so important?
So you're telling me that there was a black super soldier decades ago and nobody knew about it?
Mate, we knew that there was at least one black super soldier because Civil War showed us one. Why are you so angry that there's another one? And why aren't you angry that there was a guy being tested and experimented on because he was a super soldier? The fucking colour of his skin has nothing to do with how cruel it is to keep someone locked up and experimented on.
Is there a problem here?
We get the cops questioning Sam and asking him for his ID.
ID, why?
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Is this show seriously doing this? Sam refuses and Bucky tells him to show it. The cops then ask Bucky,
Is this guy bothering you?
No, he's not bothering me. Do you know who this is?
Oh, God. I am so sorry, Mr. Wilson. I didn't recognize you without the goggles.
wow, this show loves changing whether people will either recognize or not recognize these two when it suits the plot. Just earlier, we got a child recognize him, but not a fucking police officer.
It's Black Falcon!
I didn't recognize you without the goggles. Mr. Barnes, there's a warrant out for your arrest. You missed your court-mandated therapy. Sorry, Mr. Barnes, you're under arrest.
You gotta be kidding me. They wanted this scene with the police to do the old switcheroo on who was being arrested.
Is this guy bothering you? Sorry, Mr. Barnes, you're under arrest.
Cut to the police station, and we see Bucky being released. We also see Dr. Rayner walk in.
Sam, I've heard a lot about you. I'm Dr. Rayner.
Thank you for getting him out.
That was not me.
Oh, really? I wonder what kind and generous soul did that.
Christina!
None other than Chad America. What a man. He then informs Dr. Rayner that
Bucky's not going to be following a strict schedule any longer.
We haven't finished our work. Who authorizes?
and he gives himself a little point. Wow, look at him go. Just this episode alone, he saved both Bird and Arm's lives, offered to help take down the people Bird and Arm were hoping to take down, bailed Bucky out of prison, also getting him out of doing his therapy, which he's made very clear about how much he dislikes it. This guy is building up to be a great character. Bird and Arm should be thrilled Working with this super top bloke will be great.
He's too valuable of an asset to have tied up, so just do whatever you gotta do with him and send him off to me. Got some unfinished business, him and I. You too, Wilson. I'll be outside.
The bloke is also there talking about how they should be working together. They've done such a horrible job with writing a bad guy. It's flipped around to him being a genuinely great character. Dr. Rayner then says Bucky will have a session due to his release, and Sam has to join. This will be great.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, me too, fellas.
We're going to do an exercise. It's something I use with couples when they are trying to figure out what kind of life they want to build together.
Haha, get it? Because Sam and Bucky aren't a couple, but they sort of act like one. Also, they don't want to build a life together, so why are you asking them this? Is it because it's a funny question to ask them? They're only together because the show's been written in a way so they can do this mission together. I didn't think it was anything more than that, unless it's for the people who want them to be the first gay couple. Maybe? We get the miracle question.
Suppose that while you're sleeping, a miracle occurs. What is something that you would like to see that would make your life better?
In my miracle, he would talk less.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Isn't that ironic?
Haha, funny dialogue.
You guys are leaving me with no choice.
What? One question not answered seriously. Now you're down to your last resort. Okay, love.
It's time for the soul-gazing exercise.
I like this one, Doc.
God,
Thank
he's
you for
gonna love this. Oh,
Yeah.
you should really enjoy this.
I'm going to.
I know you are.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's stare.
Is this comedy? Like, seriously, maybe one line from each? But Chris, that just went on for too long, repeating the same joke.
Get close. All right, get close. Closer.
Well, which way
Why do you have to have your
right or
legs
left?
open? You know what? Fine. Here. You happy
Well,
now?
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
We're locked
That's
in
fine.
now.
It's a little close.
It's very close. That's what you wanted, right?
What? What are you doing? What is this sad excuse for comedy?
You need to look at each other in the eyes. There, you see, that wasn't so hard. Wait, what are you doing?
They're doing what they've been told to do. You stayed silent after telling them to look each other in the eyes. They're literally following fucking instructions.
Are you having a staring contest?
Oh, right. It was for more hilariously well thought out comedy.
Why does Sam aggravate you? And don't say something childish.
Yes, because that would be out of character for the Bucky we know to do.
Why'd you give up that shield?
Why are you making such a big deal out of something that has nothing to do with you?
Yeah, I agree.
Steve believed in you. He trusted you.
Yeah, and I guess he was wrong, hey?
He gave you that shield for a reason. That shield, that is everything he stood for. That is his legacy.
No. Steve was a standout guy from the get-go. He didn't act the way he did because he was Captain America. He became Captain America because that's who he was. And what we've seen so far, Chad isn't doing a bloody bad job. And I feel his legacy isn't the shield. It's maybe saving the world on multiple occasions. Oh, and there's the museum.
He gave you that shield and you threw it away like it was nothing.
Yeah, but we've been over this. Sorry, Steve, but you're an idiot to have faith and to have believed in Sam.
So maybe he was wrong about you, and if he was wrong about you, then he was wrong about me.
Now, don't get me wrong, Sebastian Stan's acting here is great. The acting all round in this show is great. I haven't made a criticism so far on acting, and there's a reason for that. But this dialogue is just not great. He just came forward and said exactly what he was feeling. Bucky is a very self-contained character. You have showed that in the last episode. I don't believe he would come straight out and say this. Personally, I'd have him go something like, so maybe he was wrong about you. And if he was wrong about, have him pause and just emote. Let him think. Use these amazing actors that you have to act. Don't have them just blurt out everything they're thinking and feeling. Subtlety, when used well, is extremely powerful. Anyway.
You finished?
Wow, Sam. Just wow.
Maybe this is something you or Steve will never understand, but can you accept that I did what I thought was right?
Really, Captain America gives you the shield, believes doing so was the best choice. That doesn't affect on what you think is the right choice?
You know what, Doc? I don't have time for this. We have some real serious shit going on.
Oh yeah? Serious shit, you say? Maybe the government could help with aforementioned shit? Maybe Captain Chad?
I'll be outside.
So how about this? I will squash it right now. We go deal with that, and when we're done, we both can go on separate long vacations and never see each other again.
Oh, so you're able to just squash it down right now? Just go deal with it? Yeah, easy. Sam leaves and Bucky stays there for a moment longer.
What was rule number 2 again?
Don't hurt anyone.
So this is him saying that he hurt Sam. Okay, that's nice, I guess. As they leave, cop sirens greet the boys outside.
Is this guy bothering you?
No, he's not.
And it's Chad and Lamar, just chilling.
Look, if we divide ourselves, we don't stand a chance. You guys know that.
Correct.
So what do you got?
Ooh, willing to hear him out. Maybe therapy was good for him. Made him realize he was being a bit of a cunt.
Well, the leader's name's Carly Morgenthau. We've been targeting civilians who've been helping Carly move from place to place.
Our satellites have found their symbol popping up in various displaced communities all across Central and Eastern Europe.
And Cap says they think she's taking the medicine to people in these displacement camps. Bucky says there's a fair few of these camps, so does he know where she is now?
No, we don't know, Bucky, but it's only a matter of time before we find out.
Things are really intense for you, aren't they, Walker?
Well, Bucky, why are you patronising him? You've just been giving him a hard time, for no apparent reason apart from you being petty, so of course he's going to be getting the shits with you.
Take it easy. Look, Walker's right.
Sam, my boy, you've finally woken up to yourself and realised it.
It is imperative that we find them and stop them. But you guys have rules of engagement and all kind of authorizations you have to get. We're free agents. We're more flexible. So it wouldn't make sense for us to work with you.
No, you are not. You signed the fucking Sokovia Accords. You have to be accounted for. Your suit is owned by the military. You work for the Air Force, for Christ's sake. Why don't you understand this?
A word of advice then, stay the hell out of my way.
Now this feels like the first actual effort the writers went to make him a villain. Anywho, it's just him being annoyed with everything that's happened with Bird and Arm, and quite frankly, I feel the same bloody way. Off to Slovakia, where our flag smashers are loading up a plane. A dude gets a text and states that they've been found.
How much time do we have?
None. It's the power brokers, man.
Everybody grab what you can.
What a helpful text message. Was it from one of the power brokers' men? 'Cause that was considerate of them. Or was someone on lookout? If it was a matter of life or death, I don't think I'd leave it up to a text message. And his phone was on silent. Which is lucky he felt it, considering he's moving around heaps, moving boxes. Maybe just give him a call. Better chance to reach him. Obviously this is a minor detail, but it's just so stupid that he got a text telling him everything he needed to know, and just in time for everyone to escape.
I can give you time. I'll hold them off.
And now we get a suicide mission that did not have to be the case. So this bloke tells Carly he can buy them time, gives her a hug, and tells her, one world, one people. He runs over and knocks over a telegraph pole, then walks towards the fucking police and stands there for a moment, then sprints at them, getting shot in the process. So, let's say I was that guy, hey? I hear the cops are on their way. I wouldn't stop to tell Carly our team motto. I'd run towards the way in, knock the telegraph pole over the road. They can't get around it unless they get out of their cars and jump the barrier. So, straight after knocking over the pole, run back, get on the plane, and we're good to go. This scene was just to show, oh, Carly lost people too. She has it hard. Maybe she's just misunderstood. Anyway, back to Bird and Arm walking down the road.
So what are you thinking?
Well, I know what we have to do.
Oh, did Bucky ever change a heart? He knows teaming up with Chad is their best bet.
Isaiah said my people. He meant Hydra.
Ah, okay, you mean meet up with Zemo.
Not a chance.
Walker doesn't have any leads.
I know where you're going with this, and no.
Sam very worried about meeting with him, and understandably so. He tried to turn the Avengers on each other, and for the most part did. He also could control Bucky. This is a stupid idea.
He knows all of Hydra's secrets.
Yeah, he knows Hydra's secrets. The whole world does. They were leaked. Also, he's been locked up. Why would he know of new super soldiers?
So you're just gonna go sit in a room with this guy?
Yes.
You stupid. Okay then. You stupid.
Wow. That was super fucking easy to convince you, Sam. How about 10 seconds ago and you thought that this was such a bad idea? And all that Arm had to say was, yes, he will sit in a room with him. I don't understand you.
We're gonna go see Zemo.
Thank you for saying exactly what's going on. You both knew exactly who each other were talking about. But, in case our audience didn't know, or watch any trailers, we're going to just assume you're stupid and just say whatever we're thinking, because we don't understand subtlety. Classical Requiem plays and we see... Wait, Magneto? Zemo. What a stupid fucking idea. But we'll get to that later. And for my disclaimer, I can't stress this enough. If you enjoyed the show, I am honestly happy for you. I wish that I did. But if you've heard my criticism and analysis, and then you try and tell me that the show's good without referencing or maybe correcting something I've gotten wrong, I'm not going to listen or pay any attention. Like and dislike is completely subjective and changes from person to person. Good and bad, however, are claims that can be proven by standards. I believe my standards are quite obvious in my arguments, so if I'm seen to contradict myself or get things wrong, which I probably have in any of my videos, let me know and I'll be happy to point out that they were mistakes. If you like the video, let me know. I'm still learning and trying to improve, so would love to hear if it's something that you enjoy. Also, if there's someone you know that's annoyed with this show and doesn't understand why, send them my way. I'm not only doing this because I hate Bird and Arm, but it's also to get the word out there and hopefully get people thinking more critically. So when there's a great piece of media that comes along, it can be appreciated for all the hard work and time that's gone into it. And apart from that, I guess I'll see you in the next episode. Uru, catch you later.